Okay, so our world is getting warmer, right? We all feel it. And everyone's racing to find better ways to stay cool. But what if the answer isn't some brand new futuristic gadget, but something you probably already have? I mean, seriously, what if the secret to being comfortable and sustainable has literally been hanging over our heads this whole time? Yep, I'm talking about the good old ceiling fan, but with a really cool modern upgrade. All right, so first things first, let's just lay out the bigger picture here. It's not exactly a secret that temperatures are going up. And as the planet gets hotter, our need for cooling isn't just growing, it's absolutely exploding. And if you want to understand just how big this challenge is, get this. The International Energy Agency projects that the amount of energy we use for cooling is going to triple by 2050. I mean, triple. That's a massive, massive increase. So you can imagine the kind of pressure that puts on our power grids, right? But it's more than that. It also highlights this huge global problem they call the cooling energy gap. Basically, tons of people in the hottest parts of the world just don't have access to cooling. So this isn't just an energy problem, it's a real issue of fairness and equity. Okay, so what do we all do when it gets hot? We crank the AC, right? It's the go-to solution for pretty much everyone. But the more we lean on it, the more we're running into some pretty serious problems. So let's just put them head to head. Air conditioners? Yeah, they're amazing at making a room icy cold, but they are absolute energy vampires. They're expensive to buy, expensive to run. Now, ceiling fans? Totally different story. They're cheap, they barely use any electricity, they just sip it, and way more people can actually afford them. And get this is a super interesting point from the research. It turns out that living in a perfect 72-degree AC bubble all the time can actually make our bodies, well, kind of lazy. We lose our natural ability to deal with temperature changes. We get so used to that perfect climate that even a small shift in heat feels way more intense. Which brings us right back to our unsung hero, this ceiling fan. And to really get why it's so great, you have to understand the science behind how it works, because it's not what you think. It's actually a pretty clever trick. Okay, this is the most important part. A fan doesn't make the room colder, not one single degree. What it does is create something called thermal comfort. Basically, it's just helping your own body do its natural cooling job way more effectively. So, here's how that works. Think about it in 3 steps. Step 1, your body is always creating this little pocket of warm, moist air right next to your skin. It's like a little heat blanket. Step 2, the fan comes along and just blows that little blanket away. And step 3, with that layer gone, your body can release heat and evaporate sweat way, way easier, and that's what makes you feel so much cooler. Sounds pretty perfect, doesn't it? Super effective, uses almost no power. But there's a catch. There's always been one big, nagging problem with using fans to stay comfortable all day. You know how it is. The room gets a little warmer, you turn the fan up, then a cloud comes, it gets cooler, you turn it down. You're constantly getting up, pulling the chain, fiddling with the remote. It's just annoying. And it's not very efficient. So, the big question is, what if you didn't have to do any of that? What if it could just do it for you? And that's exactly what some researchers decided to find out. They built a smart fan with a special algorithm that could automatically change its speed all by itself. And then they set up a showdown, the smart fan versus good old-fashioned human control. So here's what they did. They created a lab that looked just like a regular living room. They brought in 30 people and had them hang out at 3 different temperatures, a warm 27 Celsius, a hotter 29 Celsius, and a pretty toasty 31 degrees Celsius. And each person got to try out 4 different fan settings: fan off, a manual mode with the air blowing up, a manual mode with air blowing down, and of course, the new automatic smart mode. So the whole experiment was designed to answer 2 really simple questions. 1, which way should the fan blow for the best cooling effect? And 2, the big one, could this automatic fan actually keep people as happy and comfortable as when they were in charge themselves? All right, let's get to the results. First question, which direction is better? Well, the answer was not even close. For feeling cool, blowing the air down on you, that's direct flow, was way, way better than blowing it up towards the ceiling, especially when things started to really heat up. That direct breeze is what does the trick. Okay, and now for the main event, the automatic smart fan versus the person with the remote control. And what they found was pretty amazing. Just look at those numbers. The satisfaction scores were basically identical. Statistically speaking, there was no real difference.
People felt just as comfortable letting the algorithm do the work as they did when they were in total control.
So there you have it. The bottom line is, the algorithm worked. It was actually able to predict what people needed and adjust the fan perfectly. It took away all the hassle of messing with the controls, and nobody's comfort suffered. Not one bit. Okay, so what? Why does this matter? Well, when you think about the bigger picture, the idea of a smart, super efficient fan has huge implications. We're talking about our homes, our wallets, and honestly, the entire planet. Let's just recap the big takeaways here. First, smart fans are a cheap, easy way to slash our energy use for cooling, and we don't have to sacrifice comfort to do it. But maybe the most profound thing is this: it proves we don't always need to be in control. It challenges that old idea that to be comfortable, we have to be the ones pushing the buttons. So this really opens up a fascinating new door, doesn't it? What if we could just let smart, efficient tech take over? We could build homes that aren't just more comfortable, but are also way, way more sustainable. It kind of suggests that sometimes the best solution isn't one we control at all, but one that just works silently in the background, making our lives better.